Hello and welcome to F YouTube. First up, we're not done with those flowers because
Blumex sucks.
Well, that's just one woman's opinion. Then there's the Blumex Sucks Facebook page.
and the Blumex Ruined Our Day Facebook page,
There's the Beware of Blumex Facebook page.
and the Scammed by Blumex Facebook
the
page.
Blumex Punched All of the Kittens Facebook page.
Okay, well, that last one might not be real, but
Nah, it's real now.
oh, all right. Anyway, Kim bought her mum a bunch of flowers for Mother's Day through Blumex.
She lives interstate and I wasn't going to get to spend the day with her.
Unlike Zoe, who still lives with her mum,
I live with my husband.
who also lives with your mum, as does your cat.
At least I don't sleep alone.
Point is, Kim ordered the beautiful in blue arrangement, which is described on the Blumex website as
The serenity of the colour blue, along with the purity of intention symbolised by white, will let the family know you are sending your calm strength to them during these difficult times.
Which seems like a weird message to send on Mother's Day.
unless they're for Zoe's mum.
But that's beside the point. The important thing is the flowers that actually turned up looked like this. And worse still,
They refuse to provide a refund and will only give me a store credit. As if I want to deal with that company again.
Now, as we've explained before on the show, the consumer law guarantees that goods correspond with the description.
and no company's terms can trump that. But just for argument's sake, let's look at Blumex's own policy for when they don't have items in stock.
In arrangements of assorted flowers, the colours shown online will be used if at all possible, even if this means substituting other kinds of flowers of greater value.
Blumex, I want my money back. F you.
It wasn't until she took her case to the Office of Fair Trading that Blumex finally gave her a refund.
But ain't nobody got time for the Office of Fair Trading, so it can be worth running someone's name through Facebook before dealing with them.
It sure can. Next up, we have Ben, who recently came down with the flu.
When his partner came home with Sambucol elderberry cold and flu syrup, Ben was not impressed.
And not because Ben's an ungrateful jerk, but because Ben knows a bit about science. He's got a degree in biotechnology and molecular biology.
The thing is, the product only has one ingredient listed on the packet, Sambucus nigra black elderberry fruit juice.
Which sounds a lot more like a Mexican Ribena than something that's clinically shown to cut the duration of the flu by nearly half and to reduce the severity of flu symptoms.
And the Therapeutic Goods Administration must agree, because now Sambucol have this big retraction on their website.
We unlawfully made claims of benefit for the product, including those stating that Sambucol is clinically proven and effective for the treatment of flu viruses.
Because the Therapeutic Products Advertising Complaints Resolution Panel found their claims were
Unlawful, misleading, and unverified.
Sambucol told us they were
Required to remove the clinically trialled and cut the duration by half claims for Sambucol for future production runs.
Ooh, sounds like the TGA's really cracked down on him, eh?
sure. If by crackdown you mean that in February 2014, 3 months after they got a complaint, the panel looked at Sambucol's dodgy internet ad, then 4 months later they decided the claims were not supported by the evidence Sambucol provided. So they told Sambucol to withdraw the ad and any representations that Sambucol was clinically proven to cut the duration of flu symptoms by half and to not make those claims in any future ad, and that the panel gave Sambucol 14 days to show they would comply.
Kapow!
Ish. Because 6 weeks later, Sambucol was dobbed in for not complying. So the TGA swiftly investigated for another 4 months, after which Sambucol agreed to comply, so they dropped it.
Game over!
For that complaint. But there was another complaint in July 2014 about Sambucol doing exactly the same thing.
Well, you know what they say, fool us twice, but
This time, the panel took another 7 months until March 2015 to find against Sambucol.
is that really so long? I mean, who's counting anyway?
I am. 486 days after the first complaint had been made, the TGA cracked down with a retraction notice that Sambucol has to keep up for 120 days. That's about a quarter of the time they've been looking at these false claims.
Well, thank God that's over.
Yeah! Except for the fact that all this time, Sambucol's been allowed to sell the product with the dodgy claims because, well,
The TGA is piss weak. After they delisted the product senselessly for breaching their own rules, they still allowed them to sell the rest of the product.
But take your time.
oh, and another thing. Despite Sambucol's promise that as per the TGA's instructions,
Every third party was contacted and was asked to remove previous representations.
Those very representations were still plastered all over the websites of major retailers like Priceline, Chemist Warehouse, Towers Pharmacy, and Pharmacy Direct.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. The TGA is currently investigating this with a view to action. So you can expect a result sometime in the next, what did you say? 486 days?
Yes. But ain't nobody got time for that. So we asked those retailers if they'd been contacted by Sambucol, and they told us no. And only a few hours after our inquiry, Towers Pharmacy and Pharmacy Direct removed the dodgy Sambucol claims from their websites.
And of course, if you bought this product but wouldn't have had you known these claims were unlawful, misleading and unverified, you should get a full refund under the consumer law.
Buy these cold and flu socks instead.
Oh, do they work?
These socks are not a remedy of cold and flu.
Not according to the packet.
Oh, that explains why they're allowed to be on the market then. Next up, a big FU from Reverend Greg.
Can Reverend say that?
I'm Reverend Greg, and our church received an invoice from churchfine.com.au.
Well, at least it looked like an invoice because of all the invoicey stuff on it.
Account number, the date of the invoice, the date due, and the amount.
Greg had never heard of Church Fine.
It says renewal advice, implying this is a service that we're already receiving.
Greg sensed a presence of evil, so he rang Church Find, who said,
They informed me that no, this is not an invoice, but merely promotional material. So I said this was deliberately misleading and designed to look like an invoice to get people to pay.
Amen, Greg. Church Find is a classic example of a false billing scam.
and there are a whole bunch of these sort of scams out there, like Accommodation Find for Vic Tourism,
Holiday Great Ocean Road,
Accommodation Vic,
International Database of Registered Trademarks,
Domain Names Group.
Domain Register.
Now, a lot of these scams also intentionally choose names that are very similar to legitimate organisations.
Like Church Find could be confused for the free online directory Church Finder.
And domain registration scams might list a web address that looks very similar to your real web address.
These scams also tend to say something like,
This is not a bill. You are not required to pay any money.
And a lot of people think that that gets these companies off the hook, but it doesn't. Unless these words are the most prominent text in the document, then they're breaking the law and you're entitled to a refund.
so I won't get a refund for this?
No. And if this has happened to you, you should take it up with the fair trading office in your state or territory.
Yeah, but nobody ain't got time for that. So if you're really mad, why not send them some flowers from Blumex?
Because nothing expresses the purity of FU quite like a mystery shitposy. Good night.